She is my rock, bust at the up, hold down the spot, beast with the bar, shout to be wet, like dope in the pot.
Hey guys, what to do? Welcome back to your girl's channel. This is your girl Gigi. Thank you for tuning in. We're gonna be talking about Love&Marriage Huntsville today. I didn't even know it premiered last week. There was the first episode, so we are an episode behind. But what we gonna do is we just gonna start where it is right now in episode 2. I'm feeling bad for Melody at this point right now. Like, girl, like Martell, how did you not see the red flags? Way in the beginning. You know what? You probably did, but you just ignored it because it was either the dick or the money. And I'm banking on the first one because she pregnant right now, y'all. Like, how did you not? You already had one foot at the door and you allowed this man to impregnate you. Like, I can't believe this, Melody. It just goes to show, like, even though you can be mad at somebody, like, you just give in because you got that itch to scratch. And now I think he did it on purpose. That fool did that. He did that on purpose because he knew at the end of the day, Melody is a family woman. And he feel like, or he kind of guessed, like, if she got a baby, she not gonna leave me. She gonna have, the picture perfect family. And then in the preview, I feel like that already because he was looking at her like when she brought up, oh, I might be pregnant. He was like, oh, maybe this will help fix things. Huh? So no, we just gonna dissect this episode real quick. But first we get into that, do your girl a favor and subscribe. Okay, subscribe to your girl channel. Okay. Hit that subscribe button. All right, y'all. So Love&Marriage Huntsville opens up actually with Melody. She's going to get that famous front bob thing that she get done. And her stylist actually is Martell's cousin. So she's talking to the cousin, and the cousin seems to be knowing a lot about Martell too, because when they started to get in the conversation, her first thing was, girl, Martell ain't gonna change. But because they were talking about, her hairstyle, and, she's like, yeah, everybody comes to me talking about, oh, give me the mail. And she's like, people can have it as long as it ain't your man, So clearly she's dropping some hints, and, the stylist pick up on it, and she like, girl, what did that mean? And she's like, look, I'm divorcing your cousin, and I'm ready to kick him out. And she's like, I'm, questioning giving a second chance. And that's when the cousin was like, girl, he ain't never gonna change. And I was like, for your own family to even say that, like, means like, bro, you've been doing this for a minute. And she been knowing about some of the ladies that you probably been having some of your little infidelities with. As Marsau likes to say, infidelity. But yeah, so, she's talking about leaving him and the confessional, y'all. This show, in regards to his confessionals, I think it gives the most insight and most details. It's one of those shows who has the best confessional, recordings with the couples, because Martell and Mel, like, they be giving it all and they just be showing their cards, especially Martell. And Marsau about to be doing the same after the way this episode ended, but we gonna get to that when that part comes. But nonetheless, Melody was like, look, if I do go through with this divorce, I'm hoping he don't contest it, make it difficult, or it's gonna force my hands, have to pull out some, tricks in the bag, which obviously is old girl, because old girl has called Mel and, I'm sure talked to her and said some things. So Martell, you might not want to, push the wrong button, because Melody will light your ass up in court, and there ain't nothing you can do about it. She is going to walk away with 50%, if not 75%. Because Mel got the receipts, you can tell. But moving on, we end up seeing Martell actually talking to a friend. I guess it's a close family friend. He said they were like the photographer at his wedding, and he's telling the friend how, he did cheat on Mel and what he's doing to fix it. And, the friend asked, like, why did you do it? And he was like, it was just because I thought I could. I had the car, the Lamborghini, girls just saw me and it was whoop-de-woo. But it's like, that's the problem. Like, you keep doing it because you feel like you can. And when you're married, you can't, Martell. You can't do that no more. So now here it is. He revealed that, things were getting better until he was in the car with Melody and old girl called. Side chick called, and obviously, I guess one of them picked up. Melody probably picked up, but nonetheless, bitch called and was out of place. And he was like, well, how did she have your number? And then this fool reveals, oh, I didn't change it because I thought, because we were done, she wouldn't, call me back or nothing. Fool, you know why you didn't change the number. You knew you didn't change the number because at the end of the day, you still wanted access to old chick, or you wanted there to be, somebody for you to be able to call when you fought with Melody. So And then Melody will ask you to change the phone number. So then that's, strike two again, because you didn't listen to Melody. When she asked you to do something, you didn't love her enough or respect her enough to, follow through with her request. So you showed your hand right there again. But he's talking about how he's going to therapy and trying to figure out, why he is the way he is. And, he's coming home at a decent hour, to show that, he wants to fix things with Mel. So then the friend was like, okay, well, what are you going to do from now on? He's like, starting first, I'm going to change my number. Okay, Martell, you tell yourself that. It's amazing how he can convince himself of the things that he does, like they're never his fault. Like, it's just so annoying. Like, Melody, how did you stay with this dude so long? So Kimmie is talking to Maurice. They're talking about how, Monster, he comes down for the summers and he's wanting his son, not part-time anymore, full-time. Now, Kimmie is a little hesitant because, she's raised her son. He's 21, 27. And she's feeling like, I don't want to have to go through this whole single mom thing again. But Maurice is promising her that, look, I'm going to be, involved. You're not going to have to do this by yourself. So they got to move on to, okay, if he's going to come down, how are we going to talk about his mom about doing that? And he ends up calling his son. He told his son like he was going to FaceTime or something. So when he attempts to call, the mom picks up. And y'all, she was hella spicy on the phone, like had a little rude attitude, like, excuse me, I'm calling to talk to our son, and you coming back with all this heat, like, what did I do? And so he's telling her, like, maybe I should call back another time when you not in this bad mood. Because she was like, how do you call, like, how you not tell, like, have his mother fix it or something like that. So he hangs up and was like, something's wrong. Maybe it's because, I brought up the idea of him moving down here permanently. And Kimmie's kind of understanding. She gets it. She's a mom. She was like, I wouldn't, want my son to leave. And to her, it's probably feeling like, oh, you're taking him away from me. And he's like, well, no, I'm not. Like, because we talked about this in the past. When he's younger, he's going to be with his mom. But when it's time for him to transition into a man, like, he's going to need his dad. He's going to need that father figure. So I get what Maurice is talking about. Like, yeah, this is a crucial time for him. He needs to be with his dad. That preteen year, for boys and kind of like growing up from then on, like, they need a male role model in their life. And the fact that he's already discussed this with her and now all of a sudden there's like this underlying tension or anger goes to show you that she's definitely going to be a petty Betty if she moves down, with Monster to, I guess, be with him. So she's not away from him. You could just definitely tell she is going to make co-parenting hella difficult. So Marsau, he's at the gym working out and he runs to a friend, I guess the common friend between him and Martell, and he's asking, how things are going. And Marsau's like, things are great. He asked about the comeback group. The comeback group is, having a little tension. And he was like, well, speaking of that, like, I ran into Martell and he had some things to say. Now, this was news to Marsau because he thought everything was straight. Like, he didn't know him and homie had issues. But his friend was like, yeah, like, Martell was saying some things about you. And like, or like, he felt like you were coming for him and all this type of stuff. So maybe you should give him a call. And Marsau was like, well, dang, y'all had a whole tea and crumpets on me. Like, and I am out of the loop. So now Marsau has to call Martell and figure out what the issue is. And Martell, as of right now, he at home having a little family dinner with Mel because, they still want to put up like the good parenting front for the kids, make sure that the things are still relatively normal for them. So they're having dinner, it's cute or whatnot. And, they get up and there was this saddest scene where the boy starts praying and he starts, including mommy and daddy. You could tell like it just affected them. Like it just hit them like, oh my gosh, like if we go through with this, like we just need to get our crap together. Basically what Martell said in the confessional. He's like, hearing him pray for us just makes me want to like fix our mess and, do better. So they're preparing for this little power couple magazine cover and Mel's choosing her clothes, so he goes in to ask her what she's wearing because he's like, usually we coordinate and stuff. Nigga, there ain't gonna be no coordination with Mel. Like, I don't think you understand, like, she is giving you the cold shoulder. Like, you don't deserve none of her words actually after the mess that you've done. But Melody gave it right back to him, talking about, I don't know what I'm wearing, but how about this? I pick what I pick, you pick what you pick, and if we just happen to match, then it is what it is. And she's like, I will see you tomorrow, Martell. And she shut the door in old dude's face. And he just sitting there like, bye, I love you. And it's like, huh? Like, Martell, take your butt in the room, because you barely lucky that you sleeping in the house right now. Like, the only reason you sleeping in the house is because y'all got kids, and Melody can compartmentalize, like, business, love, and, you know, keeping up front. Mel just knows how to do it at this point because she's been doing it so long. So now they're on the way to, you know, the little power couple event, and they're in the car, and she's talking to him about, you know, stuff like what he's planning on doing, you know, to become a better man, what he's doing, you know, to fix things. And he's talking about, you know, I've been going to therapy, and, you know, it's helping me figure out, you know, why I am the way I am, and what triggers me to do things and stuff like that, and who I want to be. And so she's like, well, who do you want to be? And he's like, I want to be the man, for like the man you want me to be, because I don't know if the person that I want to be matches up, you know, with who you want. And so Mel just simply put, look, you need to be the man that can look in the mirror and be proud of yourself, and know that your kids are going to be proud of who you are as well. And at this moment, Martell, unfortunately, that's not true, because you have been doing some shady stuff in your marriage, and it's coming back to bite you in the ass. You've been doing so long trying to hide it, and the problem is, you trying to throw Marsau under the bus. Marsau might have did it, but he hit it and quit it. Yo dumb behind went out and had a whole girlfriend, from our understanding. But you know, there is some little info coming about old chick, about maybe she possibly was actually there before Mel. So once I get some more information on that, I might actually do a separate video in regards to, you know, some of the teas that's coming about old chick. But nonetheless, they're on the way to the little power couple, you know, party, and they're putting on the good front. You know, Melly's like, you know, sometimes it is hard, you know, putting on multiple faces, and it's exhausting. But, you know, at the end of the day, we might do divorce. And then every time she mentions the word divorce in the confessional, Martell's like, no, we're not getting divorced. We're not doing it. Like, he is contesting it with all his might. But you can't do nothing about it. Like, Martell, like, if Mel looks like the person, like, when she set her mind to something, like, that's it. So they at the party, you know, taking pictures, looking all sweet. They get presented with like a little big picture frame of the cover photo. And, you know, the host starts asking them questions like, you know, this is an example of a good black marriage. You know, y'all tell us how y'all keep a healthy marriage. And Mel gave him all the subs in her speech talking about, oh, you know, it's all about choice and intention, and, you know, putting God first in your marriage and wanting to do what you can for your partner. And she was basically like telling it without telling it to everybody. And then I guess the host asked another question about something in regards to like, well, how, like, Martell, how did you know y'all were meant to be, or something like that? And he was like, you know, to be real, we met in college, and I felt like God matched us together, and he knew what I needed and all this type of stuff. And it's like, bruh, you so know how to put on a front for people, like, too easily. And Mel even said it, and she was like in her confession talking about, you know, it's hard for me to do this, you know, it's probably a little bit easier for you. And he's like, nah, don't say that. But nigga, it is, because you've been putting on the front for 3 years, coming home to your wife as if you went out there doing dirt in the streets. So, homie, like, yes, this is very much easy for you because you used to do it on a daily. So they end up, you know, leaving the little party, and, you know, everything at the moment is copacetic to, you know, other people. So Kimmie goes out, and she's, you know, she doesn't get a lot of free time, so she decides to go out and meet Maurice's sister, actually, the sister-in-law. And she's talking about how, you know, she doesn't really get a lot of time out. You know, when she married Maurice, like, literally a couple of days after, the mom moved in, so, like, she dealt with a lot with the family. And so now she's talking to all the girls. Tisha ends up actually coming a little bit later and fills them in on the fact that Monster is going to be moving in. And immediately the sister is like, oh Lord, you in trouble, like, how's this gonna go? And she's like, well, why is it gonna be hard? She was like, girl, like, I'm not saying that she still has feelings, but at the end of the day, like, when you have a kid with somebody, you've had a life, like, you are always gonna have some type of, like, it's like a hold that somebody's always gonna have on you, like, because y'all are connected by a kid, and because y'all did eventually, like, have love for each other. And she is feeling like, you know, sometimes, you know, it feels like she's coming for me, and then, you know, I didn't do nothing to her. And she was like, girl, how do you not see it? Like, Tisha explained it like she's was with Maurice through the trenches, through the bad credit, through the bad, banking decisions, through, building the company, and she got none of that. She was with him through all of that, and you're the one reaping the benefits of Maurice's glow up. He done moved, lost a lot of weight, he looked good, keep himself in shape, got this business, and is making money, and guess what? She don't get none of that, but yet she had to be with him when he was in that building phase and still trying to figure out who he was, which happens to a lot of women. They kind of hold a lot of resentment when it's like, dang, I was with you through when you had nothing, and you can, glow up, and then you don't want to accept me with that. Like, you want to have me with you, you want to go on and move on to another chick. So very much I think she's gonna make co-parenting hard for Kimmie and Maurice, because there is just clearly some resentment there. Oh, girl was like, girl, how do you not see it? The sister was like, she is gonna give you some trouble, and Tisha was just like, she put it perfectly, in good form for Kimmie to understand, girl, you about to have a hard time when Maurice's son moved out here. You think it's hard now? Just wait. So this is the moment where we have the big confrontation between Marsau and Martell. Marsau ends up calling Martell, asking him like, dude, like, what's the issue? I'm at the gym. Our buddy's telling us that you have like a problem with me. Like, what is it? And he, was like, just meet me at, some little building. So Marsau is doing like a little real estate showing. And, Marsau stops by, and it just automatically started off bad because Marsau went in for the handshake, and Martell straight up dissed him like skirt, like he was not having it. So he was like, dude, like, even in war, people handshake, like, okay, what is it? So Martell's like, I'm feeling like there's a lot of fakery, like you're fake. And he's like, hold on, wait a minute. He was like, where is this coming from? Like, you have no reason to be angry at me. And Martell's like, yeah, I do. He was like, how dare you, you talk about, the stuff that's going on in my marriage. And I know there's infidelity, but you should be talking about it. He's like spreading lies. Now, I don't where the spreading lies part came from, but he was like, anything I ever said to you, like I said to your face. And they did the flashbacks of, him talking to him at or defending him, to his wife, because he was like, I've always had your back, I've never said anything about you. And he did. Marsau definitely covered for Martell in some points, but he ain't gonna sit there and ignore the fact that you are doing some stupid stuff, Martell. And the fact that you are mad at him for even, noticing that just goes to show like how you are. And Melanie was right. You are a narcissist. And the fact that your answer in the confessional was everybody's a narcissist is a narcissistic answer. Like, it's so ridiculous. So then he was like, y'all trying to kick me while I'm down. And, he's like, who was kicking you? Like, Marsau was completely thrown off. But then it turned left when Martell was like, look, y'all coming at me almost as if y'all ain't never cheating, or had 20 girlfriends. And Marsau was like, hold on, wait a minute. You talking about cheating? I've never cheated on my wife. And Martell's like, really? And at that moment, you could just see in Marsau's face, like, the blood just dropped, just everything. And he was like, how dare you, this is really the person that you want to be. Instead of taking your licks like a man, you're the one who went out there and had infidelities. Instead of taking your punishment like a man, you want to sit here and get me engaged in something that ain't even, got to do with me. I'm not even involved in this mess. And he was like, anyways, if I was cheated, how would you know? And I felt like he kind of threw that out there just to test the waters to really see what Martell knew. And Martell just basically put it like, I know plenty of girls, I can make any phone call right now. And he's like, man, look at you, I can't believe you. This is really how we gonna end our friendship. And Martell was like, well, then you better hush then. And I was like, bruh, like, I'm really feeling like Marsau right now. Like, yeah, bruh, you take your licks like a man, take it on the chin what you dealing with. And the fact that he laughed, he made a couple of chuckles in regards to your dumb behind having 2 phones when your wife is 1 foot out the door. Like, I'm confused. Like, I'ma laugh at that too, because that is dumb. Like, you really don't want your wife then. So, like Kevin K said, I got 2 phones. 1 for the wife and 1 for the hoe. Like, that's what you got. And so now, here it is, they fighting, and he's like, look, I guess we done. Like, we ain't got nothing else to talk about. So Marsau knew exactly what he had to do. Hurry up and rush his behind home, until his wife Tisha, before some shit went down that he, you know, didn't get ahead of. So Tisha comes in with the kids. He tell the kids, hey, get upstairs. And he's sitting with her, and he's like, man, we need a drink. And she's like, dang, it went that bad. And he was like, look, Martell tripping. You know, first he talking about, oh, we weren't there for him, and we were the ones spreading, you know, lies about, you know, oh, I only cheated one time. And Tisha's laughing like, okay, bro. And then he was like, and then the crazy part is, he's like, oh, you know, you coming for me as if you didn't know, like, you got 20 girlfriends. And she's like, you? And he put his head down, and Marsau, you just gave it away, like, literally in your facial expressions, that you was out there doing dirt too, homie. And obviously, I heard this a lot as a kid, was done in the dark, come to light. That was literally like my mom's favorite thing to tell me. And it always is true. Like, here his dirt is starting to slowly come from under the rug, and Marsau, your ass is next. And so Tisha was asking, like, why did you let him say that? Like, is it true? And he's like, oh, no. He's like, no. But, you know, he's his own man. I can't, you know, control what he says. And Tisha was like, look, okay, the next time he say something, you better check him. But I do know this. If I hear it again, that means there's some truth to it. At least Tisha ain't that dumb. But from the preview of next week, she want to play stupid because she's running to mail somebody, oh, I know my husband's faithful, but he want to give her, oh, I know my integrity, and when it's time for it to be, you know, challenged, I know I'm gonna, you know, pull through and be on top. Okay, Marsau, we seeing who Martell's mistress is, and my guess is y'all two used to go do little double dates. And that's why Martell know all the business, because y'all two was both doing y'all dirt either at the same hotel, using the same room, or the girls y'all was messing with was friends. That's gonna be my guess. So Letitia, I'm guessing next season's gonna be about you and your husband's troubles once Mel and him get done with this season. So season 3 is gonna be coming up on your turn, Tisha. Honestly, the only true man I see in this group is Maurice. I appreciate him the most. Him and Kimmie have, you know, a good relationship. They're fun. Like, I just like them a lot. But that's how the episode ended, with Marsau's, as, you know, his dirt coming out. And do y'all believe Martell? Do y'all think he actually has, you know, some receipts on Marsau? In regards to Martell, like, Melanie, you got pregnant, girl. Like, I can't with you. Like, do you not birth control, chick? Like, I guess Martell was like, look, I'm gonna get this one time. I better put it down right, because I know that's the one thing I can do to keep Melody here. And he did it. And now here your ass is stuck, probably for another couple of years. I can't believe this, y'all. But that was the episode. Y'all tell me what you think about these couples. Who's your favorite? And I will see you guys next time. Please like this video, subscribe to your girl's channel, and I will talk to you later. Deuces.